Station 2 area. So cute.
Okay.
Yeah. And a corral, we can ride down, you know, hit little races on bouncy horses. Just was fun. And then you individuals, they're great table, you know, so, and I can't remember what, where, but. Look at that.
Yeah, no joke. The other four people that have tried to fix it.
Me either, I have not at all, that was really neat, so, you know, you just sort of made out kind of out of. Corn. My dad, had, two soldered together, and whoops, and then spray painted the gold, daggone it.
I still look for, Ashley's wedding, the tables are gonna come for me.
Oh, yeah, simple is great, you know, oh, come on. Okay, and that was Hedda's table, which was really a lot of sunflowers, and just cute. Oh, John Wayne, look at John Wayne there, can you see that? I got. I'm so in awe of people who can do that.
Our tablecloths are gonna do blue oak.
Yeah.
And then.
Freaking Mike. I said 17. I said 17. I said there was no way.
Gonna add some candy and stuff around my I call them coloring sheets, they call them plate sheets.
How cute is that?
So I'm gonna put like 4 at each table with some crayons. Cause I said, we gotta have something for the little kids to do.
That's adorable.
Yeah,
Tell her to do, yeah.
Between the wedding.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
you're doing what?
Yes. Oh, and I gave Lydia one. Yeah, we said that it is.
It might be the last day of my career. It is cold in here. It's fixed.
Feels good to wear upstairs, though, doesn't it?
Yes, that's what I said. That's the only thing good about it. The cake was cooked too long and got dry. The icing,
Phenomenal.
it's
So
one of
good.
those things, just lick the
I
icing.
just said, you know, and I've got a holder in my hand. A little piece, little sliver of cake. I brought it.
We had so many desserts yesterday. I brought in a cake, I think. What'd y'all do with Marty on the way?
I called him again while we're
He got
no
lost.
answer, so we walked over there and see.
We got a plan. We have a plan.
Somebody, okay.
Whatever.
Scotch egg or whatever.
Hey, welcome to March 28th work session of the Elizabethtown City Council. Ron Thomas will bring the invocation.
Mayor, we've had a guest minister for the last 2 sessions, and some of us were wondering if you would like to be the guest minister today.
Folks couldn't get clergy to come
Do that since she hadn't accepted that.
I'll be glad.
I told you we had a guest minister. Pray with me, please. Heavenly Father, we're thankful for this season. We're thankful for this gorgeous day. We ask that you be with us, guide us, wrap your arms around us. Heavenly Father, we just became aware a couple of hours ago of a shooting at the U.S. Capitol. We ask that you be with those involved in this. We also ask, Heavenly Father, and pray deeply for peace in all of the world, in all of mankind. Heavenly Father, we're thankful for those that give of their time to serve in this city, whether they be volunteers or paid. We're thankful for this council. We're thankful for this mayor. We ask that you be with us during this meeting, that the decisions we make will be pleasing to thine eyes. These things we ask today and every day in thy holy name. Amen.
Amen. Sing a pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Always want to say amen at the pledge.
Ben Williams.
That's good. Amen.
Do you, have you heard from Mr. Williams? Sabalski. Did I pronounce that close?
Really close, Sabalski. That's
Sabalski, okay.
great. I had a sergeant major one time for 4 years, couldn't get that right. I don't know what's so hard about it. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the council, mayor, I was here last year in April. If you remember, I'm with Kentucky Motorcycle Association. My friend, he couldn't be here today. Mike's on another mission. I wanted to give you an update. A lot of times people do things and they never find out what the results are. And they really sort of say, well, we don't know if we blew our money or not. And this is reference to our motorcycle safety signs that were put out around the city of Elizabethtown and Hardin County. Okay. And in a time of discord of all this political BS that's going around, I got some good news for you. That was money well spent. And in 2014, there were a total of 56 motorcycle accidents in Hardin County. 2015, we dropped that with the signs went in place about the first week of May, which I really appreciate all your assistance in getting those in play. And we wanted to see how we're getting ready to go to do this in Jefferson County. They got a massive problem in comparison to you. But anyway, in 2015, we dropped the total accidents in Hardin County from 56 to 44. That's 12 droppings. We had one less fatality and we had 15 less injured folks. It went from 43 to 28. 10 of the injuries were in the Radcliffe area, so that got you down to about 18 down here. And you had 2 of the fatalities in the Hardin area. And I'm sure it's in your city limit signs or not, because I'm not familiar with Hardin County map that well. I did give a copy to the chief of police here, and I've got a spare one here I made up for the sheriff that gives the positions on the accidents for 14 and 15. So if they want to dwell over that, possibly come back and make some recommendations to the council for either further signs or whatever their recommendation, that's their business. But we do know we got one spot here that's over on Miles that there was 4 accidents in that one intersection. So there's got to be a problem there. Radcliffe has 2 hotspot areas in which 6 accidents occurred, 3 in each area. So if we can, Radcliffe's going to actually put out some more signs. They sort of did the minimum last year, but chief police wants to put out about 4 more. But I think we're going the right direction, and I'm assuming you're going to do your barbecue thing like you do this year. I'm assuming that's in the mill for May or whenever we're going to do it. And I've got a lot of positive comments from people who ride motorcycles that come into this area. They see those signs. That means something to them. So hopefully we can continue to push this number down and so on. Actually, E-Town area itself, you had 13 less injured people over here this year. Yes, ma'am.
Where on Miles? What intersection? Miles and where?
Chief, you probably have to help me out. It'll look like Dixie or Wilson or something. This map's sort of difficult.
It's actually on Dixie Mayor. It's going to be scratch the road right there. It's hard to tell on this map where, because it's so small at that level.
Yeah, but
So it's somewhere on Dixie.
Yeah, I just looked it up. I just pulled it.
yeah,
It's on
but
Dixie.
that's,
Oh,
it's on Dixie because Dixie's always been a nightmare for everybody anyway. So, but but we really appreciate your assistance on getting this done, and hopefully we can drive these numbers even farther down. And I was first thinking it possibly was a thing of downsizing at Fort Knox, but then I come to find out that Fort Knox didn't lose any soldiers last year. So there's the same number over there from 14 to 15. Matter of fact, there's a few more. So that necessarily won't be figured into the deal. But like I say, we've had around a 20% across the board cut. Even the number of vehicle accidents by themselves, in other words, rider drops a bike type of thing, went from 20 and 14 down to 13. Now, that's sort of a funny number because the fact that a lot of people say, well, the guy lost control of the bike. And I've been riding for 50 years, and I'm going to tell you how that happens. Somebody cuts you off. Somebody turns in front of you or something, and then they just keep going like you're invisible, you know. So that's generally, in a lot of cases, how those single vehicle accidents really happen. They're not just a rider fell asleep behind the handlebars and ran off the road or something. They just don't really work that way. But a lot of them are inattentive drivers who either whip over in your lane and actually hit you, knock you over the curb or whatever, and that happens. And then, of course, the people that just out there in a fog. But I appreciate all the help we got in E-Town and Hardin County, and I'm glad we can report some positive thing because you are considerably down on your numbers, and hopefully we can even get those lower for 2016. Do any members of council, the mayor have any questions? Anything I can answer for you?
No, but I thank you very much. We appreciate you coming with good news.
Well, I hate to come in with bad news. We get enough bad news all around, but we don't need any more bad news. But this is good news, and I think hopefully if we see some drastic drops by next year, hopefully that'll be something we can report on. Because like I say, y'all spent some money to put these signs up, and I believe effectively they have earned themselves. You know, the money was well spent. And I'll give you just one thing. I saw a flyer on the guy up to Louisville Harley Davidson on Friday. And he had been in an accident involving a motorcycle and a vehicle, a car, truck, or whatever it was. He had 28 surgeries in 1 year, and now they're going to have to remove his lower left leg because it's not healing like it's supposed to. Can you imagine what the hospital bill is? I'm not just saying that's up in the 7-digit figures. But like I say, it's money well spent on everybody's part, and I hope that it can drivers will continue to pay attention, and paving in some hot spots we have here in E-Town and maybe over in Radcliffe, we can get some signs up, maybe wake a few more of them up, and we'll be in good shape. But again, I appreciate your time, and hopefully our efforts will be on the positive side next year as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Scott?
Well, I have good news too. We received bids for the Poplar Drive and Village Drive projects on March 15th, and we've now gone through all those numbers, checked all the references, and ready to bring it to you all for award of those bids next Monday. Poplar Drive, we had 4 bids. The low is Mac Construction out of New Albany. They haven't done work here since I've been the city engineer, but I understand they've done some work for the city prior to that. Their bid is $6,425,480. And then on Village, we received 7 bids. Conhurst LLC out of Wallingford, Kentucky, which I found out is east of Flemingsburg. I had to look that one up, so that's a pretty fair distance away from us. But all their references checked out as well. 7 bids. Their bid was $2,252,504. So the good news is combined we're at about 8.7 million. We had $11 million from KIA to do these 2 projects. So we're going to keep 10% contingency just in case we run into anything. So we're open to around that $9 million mark for these 2 projects. So.
Scott, I'm curious, what was the range on the Poplar Drive? 6 million 4 was
to 7.6. Yes, sir. And then 2.5 to 3 almost 3.6 on Village. So good bids, and we're good numbers, and we're looking forward to getting them started. Poplar is going to take about 18 months or so, and Village take 12 to 13.
Been a real quick turnkey project.
Yes, sir. Seems like just yesterday I got started on these. They take time, but we're there, ready to build them. And like I said, it does, as you all know, it takes us a while to get easements and get everything straightened out, but we're ready to get these projects started.
And you said that we're going to be starting on Pine Valley in 2 weeks.
I keep saying 2 weeks.
I know.
That's standard contractor answer right there. Pine Valley Drive, we have a pre-construction meeting tomorrow, and hopefully we'll see movement on it this week, early next week. And then they have till September 2nd to complete that work. So we'll have it done this construction season.
Are they doing some drainage work with that job, not just the sidewalks?
We're widening the road just a
Okay.
little bit, adding shoulders, doing drainage work inside the right of way, and then the sidewalks. And then under a separate contract or with city forces, we'll clean out the drainage ditches on across the properties, make sure it all drains out really good.
Drains out good, 'cause I
So
noticed it's
we're
all
replacing,
sitting now.
yes, it is.
Okay.
We're replacing the pipes underneath the road, the main drain pipes, cleaning out the ditches. And we'll get all that drainage work taken care of too. Sidewalks on one side. Then we got a pool open in 9 weeks.
Making hay up there today.
We hope so.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Scott.
Chief Schiller, do you want to speak on behalf of Mr. Williams, or you want to wait until he comes? Up to you.
Dinner.
As I think the council is aware, the police department has run a couple of initiatives and a couple of locations in the city where we had gone in and actually performed some surveys. And those surveys were designed to answer several questions. One was, what were the issues that that community particularly had that they wanted to bring forward to us and make us aware of. And we did this in the Haycraft neighborhood, and we also did it in the Deeks and Bellwood area. And one of the things that came up was this intersection at Bellwood and Deeks. In particular, the concern was visibility as you're coming off of Bellwood onto Deeks. And that's the fact that visibility can be impeded significantly by the parking that's from the apartment complexes there. So it just really kind of depends on the day of the week and who's parked there and the size of the vehicle and all that, and just how much that's going to impact. So they had a lot of concerns about that because it did create some issues for them getting out there and, almost having accidents. But one of the things that they were requesting is to see if it was possible to make that four-way stop to address that issue so that people coming down that direction, there would be less chance of having to have that concern and they could get out and make it a little more convenient. And that's what I know that Mr. Williams was going to speak about that as well. We've done traffic surveys through there. There's not a significant amount of speeding, but again, speeding is not the principal reason that the concern is there. The principal reason is visibility. However, of course, we all know that if you got some cars speeding, that just, of course, obviously touches on it. But just so you know that 50th percentile in the measurement we did there, which was significant, it was quite a while ago, was about 31. But you had probably about 45% of the cars were doing 31 to 40 miles an hour. So you had some. And coming off that hill, I think I kind of agreed. So that was what he wanted to mention as well. Mr. Williams is a resident manager for some of the apartments there. And so he has a chance to interact with a significant number of the population of the residents. And so he's kind of a spokesperson for many of them. And they collect their concerns and interests and bring those to the police department. He's worked with us for years. And it's been a great partner for us, quite honestly. Any questions?
If you want to ride through there and
Check it out.
see what you think, check it out, and get back to you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Anything else?
I have not.
All right, thank you all for coming.
Mayor, are we needing money for next spring break week? Did we
Yeah,
decide we
we
all?
all, the only people going on spring break was Ron
And Terry?
And
Oh.
and
Bob.
yeah, too, so we have a.
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
Oh, that was really good. Yeah, so we made some money. It was great. Did you know how much we did last time?
They ran out of this,